What is happening, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Paul Naylor, aka the Del Sol Runner, and today we're going to be going over some basic running terms. This is for all you brand new runners. You're just entering into this wonderful community of people around the world that are running marathons, 5Ks, ultras, all the stuff. And you hear them use a lot of weird terms and you have no idea what it is they're talking about. So here are going to be some of the more basic things, some of the more basic terms that you're going to be hearing when you're talking amongst all your new runner friends. This is not going to be all of them, but it's going to be some of them, and if there's more that are needed, I'll probably make another video of those. But here they are. All right, negative split. I hear this one a lot, so this is going to be the first one on the list. So negative split, people get this misunderstood quite a bit. What they think a negative split is basically a mile pace or a kilometer pace, where each mile time gets faster and faster. Basically, it's a progression of how fast you're running. Well, this is not quite accurate. What a negative split actually is, basically the second half of your run is faster than the first half of the run. So basically, take a look at this. If you say like a 4-mile run takes you 45 minutes, the first 2 miles took you 20 minutes, while the second 2 miles took you 25 minutes for a total of 45 minutes. That is a positive run because the last 2 miles are slower than the first 2 miles. It's basically taking the entire distance of your run, cut it in half, and seeing which half is faster. Now, same distance, 4 miles. Let's say the first 2 miles were 25 minutes and the second half was 20 minutes. The second half is now faster than the first half. That, my friends, is a negative split. Alright, you might have heard the word BQ been thrown around quite a bit. BQ is basically shorthand for Boston Qualifier. Running the Boston Marathon is a goal for a lot of your runner friends, especially probably a lot of you who are now in the whole running community. To get to Boston, you have to run a qualifying time, and basically whatever that time is going to be referred to as a Boston Qualifier. And I won't be getting into the specifics of how to qualify for Boston, but whenever they throw the word BQ, just know it means for Boston Qualifier. Alright, Fartlek. I know, it's a funny term. Well, it's funny back in high school and it's still funny to hear now, but it is a Swedish term, and basically it is a style of workout that you do for running. Essentially what the basic fartlek run is going to be running for a period of time at a certain pace, which is usually a pretty fast pace, and then you run for another period of time that's going to be slower, and you just basically keep on alternating between the two. So not quite like an interval where you rest completely for a period of time. It's just going to be jogging slower for a period of time and then running faster, running slower, running faster, much like a minute on, a minute fast, a minute slow, a minute fast, a minute slow, something like that. There's a lot of variations, but that is essentially what a fartlek run is. All right, carb loading is a term that you hear with a lot of your friends. Carb loading is something that a lot of people do usually the day before a big race, and what they're doing is basically increasing the amount of carbohydrates that their body has, so that when they are running a race, they'll be able to use those carbohydrates in the race usually the next day. Now, this is going to be really beneficial for people running longer races. If you're running a 5K or even a 10K, carb loading is really not beneficial to do because your body does have enough carbohydrates to cover that distance. Now, if you're going to be doing anything like a marathon or half marathon, then you might want to do those carb loading. All right, plantar fasciitis. All right, say it with me. Plantar fasciitis or plantar fasciitis. This is a muscle on the bottom of your foot that connects the front of your foot to the back. And if this gets strained in any way, it causes a lot of problems and makes it so that you can't run as fast. Don't worry if you can't say the word plantar fasciitis. It takes some practice. Just say to your friends that your foot sucks, and then people will know that you won't be able to run as fast, or you might need to take a few extra days to recover. All right, GPS watch. This is going to be one of these things here. This is a watch that a lot of people wear to kind of track how fast and how far they go. Usually a lot of fitness watches these days will have a function on it to track GPS, and so really this is a great training tool. However, it's not the only training tool, so don't be fully reliant on a GPS watch, but just know that they are available, they are expensive, and they can help you train to be a lot better. All right, you might have heard these terms before. 5K marathon. Okay, let's just get this out of the way right now. 5K marathon does not exist. This is people who really have no idea what the distance is. Okay, a 5K is 3.1 miles, a 10K is 6.2 miles, a half marathon is 13.1 miles or 21 kilometers, and a marathon is going to be 26.2 miles or 42 kilometers. You might hear people say things like full marathon and half marathon. Full marathon is almost as ridiculous as saying 5K marathon, but not as much. Just kind of get in the habit of saying there's a half marathon and marathon. Half marathon and marathon. Not necessarily a full marathon, even though that is something that a lot of people throw around. I even sometimes say it, but it's going to be marathon and half marathon. 5K, 10K, no 5K marathon. Just don't make fun of those friends, just kindly correct them. They still need to get a little bit educated about what a marathon distance is, so now you know. Alright, pronation and supination. This is basically the way that the foot makes contact with the ground and how it pushes the body forward. So if you hear a term called pronation, what this basically means is that when the foot strikes the ground, the foot starts to go inward and roll like this. This is going to be pronation. If it's supination, it's going to be actually the other way. It's going to roll toward the outside of the foot. Both things are not exactly bad, but they can be a bit problemsome if you do have shoes that do not help support the type of way that you run. So that's why I say it's very important. Go to a shoe store, have your feet evaluated by the people there, and they'll help you get you in shoes that will be beneficial for the way that you run. Alright, pace. This is going to be a term for basically determining how fast you are running. So if you are running, let's say 2 miles, and it takes you 10 minutes to do that, to do 2 miles, that is going to be a 5-minute pace, because you're running basically 5 minutes for every mile. Now if you run 3 miles at 21 minutes, that will be a pace of 7 minutes a mile, because you are basically averaging 7 minutes for every mile, 3 miles to 21. Alright, so that's what a pace is. Alright, so PR, so you have your friends gathered together, they're all excited about what they've just done over the weekend. You hear the word PR get thrown around. What that essentially means is a personal record. They might say PB, which is personal best. So that is basically mean that whatever distance they ran, whether that is a 5K, half marathon, or marathon, they ran the best time for them. So when that happens, give them a big thumbs up, give them a high five, give them a hug. That is a big deal. PRs, PBs, big deal. Make sure people who throw around that term, you congratulate them, high five them every time. Alright, one more for the day. Cadence. This is a term that is thrown around. This is essentially how many times your feet, how many steps you're taking per minute. So everyone varies with this, and typically with most experts for running, most coaches will say that a good cadence that everyone needs to strive to obtain is 180 steps per minute. Now that is going to be for any pace, whether it's a slower pace or a higher pace. So 180 steps per minute, that's the goal cadence, but cadence essentially is how many steps you take per minute. A lot of devices like this can track that, but don't be too caught up on it if you don't have something that tracks that, but that is just going to be an extra benefit that can help you towards your training. Alright, and so those are some of the basic running terms you might be hearing if you are a brand new runner. I know there's not a lot of those terms. I know there's so many more that are out there that you might have heard that are not in this video, but that's okay. I'll probably make another video down the road with more terms. But if you do hear those terms and you're a brand new runner, now you kind of know what those are all about. So anyway, if there are any terms that you feel that are important that everyone needs to know, put those in the comments down below. But until then, guys, I hope you guys have a great day, a great weekend if you're running. Hopefully you guys are. But go ahead and check out the other videos on this channel. Click subscribe, and I'll see you guys at the next start line, wherever that may be. We'll see you guys later. Take care.